the mistake that I made, and I'm not afraid of saying that I made a mistake, guys. That's probably the number one mistake I made. I didn't do my research. Now, so I'm back, guys, and this video is gonna be short first and foremost, because I don't want to stretch it out, and everyone's journey and process is different, but I'm just gonna go through the basics of how you start the program, how you go through the program, and then how you transition to the US, right? So of course I'm gonna start by saying do your research. No, I'm not a joke, like seriously, this is probably the most important thing you need to take from this video. Do your research. There are a lot of nursing recruitment agencies out there. It's a lot. I'm not going to really. You have so many different. I'm not going to even call the names, but do your research, guys. Research each and every one of them if it's possible, or at least the popular ones, because most time when something is popular, it means it's better. Not all the time, but most of the time. And in this case, it's better to go where most people are going and it works out for them than to just go and pick some random recruitment agency and then end up sorry in the end. Not saying that a new recruitment agency that just come up on the scene, probably that's more not as popular as the rest, is bad, but I'm just saying do your research, right? And figure out what your goals are and what you're hoping to achieve when you come into the US, and then base your decisions on that. Meaning, are you willing to sit down in a 3-year contract, a 2-year contract, or do you want a program where you can do a bunch of overtime and finish your contract like in a year and a half, and then you can go about your business and do whatever you want to do, right? But do your research. That's probably the mistake that I made, and I'm not afraid of saying that I made a mistake, guys. That's probably the number one mistake I made. I didn't do my research. Not to say that the program that I went with is the worst, but there were better options out there that if I had known, I would have chosen. But we're here already, and time is a must. I'm always saying that, and nothing lasts forever. But guys, do your research. Find out how long you want to stay in a contract for. Find out the benefits that you want. Find out if you want a recruiting agency that gives you a bonus, if that's important to you, if you have like a family and so. So yeah, definitely do your research. Sorry, got distracted because I am shooting in my other room and the window is open and there's a guy on the roof. But anyways, that's not my business. I just but guys, do your research. Do your research. You can't go wrong if you do your research. There's just no way. So do your research first and foremost, and then decide on which recruiting agency you want to utilize. So I went ahead and chose my recruiting agency. First of all, let's retrack or backtrack. A lot of people, a lot of nurses from Jamaica are leaving. This is alarming in so many different ways, and I won't be getting into that right now. If y'all need a video on how the brain drain of nurses is going to or is negatively already impacting Jamaica, drop your comments below and I'll definitely do a video on that, but that's not what we're here to do. But I left Jamaica because I had goals I wanted to achieve, and Jamaica was just not cutting it for me. I mean, I went to school for 4 years, spent millions of dollars, and then come out of school, I'm working peanuts. Oh, that makes sense. I'm working so hard because I don't know about anybody else, but I'm a hard worker, honey. Me did I work so hard and just need that's what I work for. So I said, nothing tried, nothing done. Hold on. Lips still a little bit dry. I said, if you don't try, you're never going to know if it's gonna work out. So I said, a lot of people are doing it and it's working out. So let's see if it'll work out for me. So yeah, I chose to migrate, not because I don't love my country. Nowhere no better than you, best believe. And I know that more even so now that I'm over here. Like, no, we're just not compared to Jamaica. Jamaica is incomparable. Regardless of the violence and the crime that's happening now, just no one better than you. But me not go. If I could stay home and get paid, well, I would leave. Why am I gonna leave? No people will leave. Probably just a vacation and come back. But yeah, I left to better myself. That's the number one reason why I signed up for a nursing recruitment agency. And yeah, that's why I'm here now. So, number one, do your research. And then, when you decide on a company, there are different steps that most of the steps are universal to all the recruitment agencies. The process is basically the same. One and two things might different, probably in the way that you study, the period of time after you have to be studying before you can actually sit the NCLEX exam, you know, different things like that. So with my agency, step one was an interview. So after you sign up, like you go onto the website and you sign up, you put your information in, your qualifications and whatnot, they're going to tell you that they're going to schedule you for an interview. Me personally don't know nobody will ever do interviews and not being accepted. If that happens to you, sweetheart, something is seriously wrong with you. I am sorry, because these people really need nurses. Like, you think Jamaica the chart over your chart? So yeah, after you put application in, they'll schedule an interview with you, and the interview is very casual, based on my own personal experience and what other persons have told me about interviews. It's pretty casual. They'll probably ask you some scenario questions like, if a patient had a fall, what would you do? How long you've been a nurse, you know, the areas of expertise and experience, those basic questions. And if you are generally a nurse, you don't need to be, there's not a lot you need to do to prepare for this interview than what you regularly do to prepare for any interview, you understand? What I will say, if you have done your research, you will know what the company offers, because sometimes they'll ask you why you chose them. And of course, you doing your research will be very beneficial in how well you answer the question, right? So that's number two, interview, signing up and then getting an interview. And then of course, when you pass the interview, you move on to the second step. And sorry if I'm looking down on my phone, guys. I have to do that so I can stay on track. So the second step is, of course, your CGFNS CES report, right? So this report is basically a way of validating your credentials. So the people want to know if you really are a registered nurse, as you say you are. So yeah. So this will include getting your license verification, your transcript from the university where you got your degree, and stuff like that. They just want to validate your nursing credentials, so the people are not go spend their money on you, and then when they reach the point, you're not really a nurse. If that ever happened, I don't know. Anything is possible. So after you do that, and you're which usually is pretty quick. I think mine took a little bit longer, but y'all have to remember that I was in a pandemic at the time when I signed up. I think at the time when I signed up, it was a year before the pandemic. I signed up with my agency in 2019. So you know the pandemic went just about starting in 2020. Oh Lord, let's not even get into that. But because of that, my process was a lot longer than it usually was. But it should usually take between 1 to 3 months to complete this process, right? The validation of your nursing credentials. So after you get that out of the way, which is a long, tedious process, and worse, especially with dirty nursing council, when we just feel like the government just tell them, say, make things hard. You get your license verified and them something, and it's expensive too. I don't quite remember the price. when I finish this video, I am going to research the amount and just pop it in the video. But yeah, you have to pay one good little amount. I think some of it is in US. Don't quote me, guys, because as I told you, it's been 2019. Come on, my memory don't good. Bear with me. So after we get that out of the way, the next step would be your state board application. So your state board application is basically getting you prepared to be licensed in the US to work as a nurse. So most of the agencies that I know about, they use the Illinois State Board of Nursing. I don't know if it's easier or whatever to get into, but that's the one most of them use. There are some people who choose a different state board. Some people choose New York. So I guess it's where you want to go and the type of agency that you sign up with. But most of them I know they use Illinois State Board of Nursing, right? So they will help you get your CES report and do your application and so it is easier for you to transition into the country. So when you get over here, the time period of you waiting to start working is basically zero, because when I get over here, you're just going to be waiting on your license, which doesn't take your official license for the state that you're going to be working, which doesn't take that long. I think the longest it took me was 2 weeks, if that much, for me to get my my license. But of course I did things a little bit different. I sent my documents in from Jamaica. Some people wait until they reach into the US to do that, but me just well want to work and start make some money, because as me say, I have bills to pay. Okay, so after we done that step, and that step is pretty easy and quick. American system is different. I'm not saying that I haven't come over here and had to be waiting a long time to get through, but in regards to government things and like paperwork, the speed of it is generally better than in Jamaica. So after you do that, the next thing that my company started working on was NCLEX review. So what this utilized with my company was UWorld, and then like a knowledge-based assessment test. I think it was every 4 to 6 weeks, and you had to pass that test with a score of 80 and above. Don't quote me, but you had to pass it at a level. And these tests were very hard. You see that you were something like that, you were something that gonna make you feel dunce. When we say that you were something that gonna make you feel dunce, believe me, man, you're gonna feel like you don't know nothing for nursing. And at the point when I was doing this, because I started my NCLEX review in 2019, because I signed up early 2019, and then the process went very fast, because of course the panoramic never started yet, so things did normal, so it went very fast. And then I started my review like in the summer, and their review process is very short. It's like 3 months. I know I think Avant one is long and very rigorous and very step by step, and I think that's good in a sense. But like as I said, I was ready to move. I've been at the hospital that I've been working for let me see, for 3 years, and then I was just over it. I was over the system. I wasn't being paid enough. There was a lot of politics going on at the hospital, and then the patients were rude. The patients are rude everywhere now. And I don't have any problem with rude patients, because something when you're sick, you behave out of character. But at least I need to be getting paid to deal with that shit. I need to be seeing the money to deal with that. We can't just get up and just have people just show them problem for me, and then I go home and can't pay my bills. No, baby, it don't make no sense. So yeah, the process was, it took 3 months, because I started the review in the summer, and then I did the 2 assessment-based tests and I passed them. And then after I passed, they scheduled my exam pretty quickly. So I think like I used July, August, and September to do the review, and that included UWorld. And then I also found this program. I can never remember the name of this man, but this man really helped me know how to answer NCLEX questions. If I remember, I'm also going to drop the link in this video so you can, because that man was brilliant. When I say the man is not even about the knowledge that he gave you, but he gave you like cheat codes to how to answer questions even when you don't know what the question is asking you. And I think that just blew my mind, and it really helped me in my exam. I think that's why I passed. That man, can't remember the name of the man's program, but someone sent me some audio files and you listen to him and he teaches you how to answer the NCLEX questions, and so that with UWorld and the assessment based test. And then I was scheduled for my exam in December. So I went over and did my exam in December of 2019. I chose Florida because Florida warm and I just didn't want to be spending money to buy any winter clothes and stuff. Yeah, but in life you can go somewhere for a little snow, cause we don't never see snow in our life yet. But no, I chose Florida. It was closer and was safer to me because I write the stuff. You can jump on like a banana boat and reach back to Jamaica if anything. So yeah, I went, did the exam. First of all, I've traveled before because I had my visa before I started this program, so I could go travel 1 and 2 times for 1 and 2 reasons, But when I went to Florida, I don't know if it's a part of Florida where I chose, but it was pure Mexican people. Most of them didn't really understand English so well, and then I didn't have a phone, so I had to be using my phone at the hotel to get. Alright, so how I booked it, because I didn't want to take a vacation to go and do my exam. So I requested some days off, 3 days off in a row, and then like for the day before I requested we're calling something again, like a day leave or something. I can't remember what that name. I requested one for the day before my day off began, and one for the day after my day off. So I actually ended up with 5 days. So I went into the US and spent 3 days, and then when I came home, I could have come home today, I was off the next day, and then I go back at work the following day. So yeah, that's what I did, so I wasn't jet lagged and tired and traveling go. So when I go to this place now, I don't have a phone, I don't speak much Spanish, and then these people are very, I don't know, these Spanish people, I don't know if they're Mexican, let me not say that because it probably come off wrong, but these Spaniards they were their personality was very abrasive. I don't know, they're very abrupt, and I called an Uber and the Uber guy was just very, I don't know, not friendly. And I'm not saying that I wanted a conversation, because of course when I'm in my Uber I'm not in the bag of chatting. I just want to get from point A to point B. But I told him good morning, he never answer and them type of something there. But yeah, I was so glad when I was done and ready to go home, because a little area there. And then no little KFC or nothing over there down the road, me could have walked up. You see them 3 days that I spend in Florida, I eat Chinese food, so till Chinese food that come out of my ears. I tell her how me order Chinese food. Like I found the place with the because the hotel had like the hotel had like a menu thing where you could have called places to get food. And so when I find this place and I order and the food was so nice, me not stop order from there. Are they alone me eat Chinese food? When me done, you could have called me Mingly. So anyways, that was the place me use. And the people get so used to me with the 3 them ended it. Then stop asking me what my name for add to the order, then just pop up. And then I start get extra things, because it's the girl that they spend money, so I start get free things with my food and some did like that. And the food is good. The food was really good, like the best Chinese food me ever eat. Ever. Hands down. So yeah. So anyways, into the place, and then I had to figure out how I was going to come back from there when I go there, because of course I don't have a phone to make a call to call back the people but me have to do my exam. So I went, did my exam, and guys, I did not pass in 75 questions, and this is something that you can see the change in my face. It kind of irritates me when people talk about, oh, I did NCLEX and I passed in 75 questions. And so A pass is still a pass, sis. Me pass 275 questions, me pass. What that make you smarter than me or something? I like to think that I am so smart that the computer was confused as to what they should do with me. I think I passed in 190 something questions, guys. And like the more questions my answer is, the harder the questions came back to me. I'm just like the computer said, hold on, the girl don't know what she do, or she don't know what she do. Or no, you know, computer, yeah, it worked me. It worked me. I was in that exam for most of the, I think they give you 6 hours to finish NCLEX. 46 hours, don't quote me. But I was in there. When I finished my exam, everybody gone. Me one on guard. To all that exam kick my ass. 2 things. If me never pass, me then go try it again. No, sir, I don't have to go down a back road or something. Oh, I Jamaican them know what I mean when I say that. Don't do that the exam day again. And secondly, the exam was so rough for me that the lady that invigilated the exam, big up herself, miss, I don't remember how she looked, or I just know that she was white. She came into the room and she put her hand on my shoulder right as so. And she just gave me 3 soft taps and she said, you did good. And I felt so good. My arm was bust out in her tears. Come here, say the lady just nice, so she don't know me, but she understand the struggles, right? So guys, the video get kind of long and I don't want it to push out, but if we don't want a story time of the world, nurse transition program from Jamaica to the US, we just start with things that happen, because I have some funny stories. My friend them know, so I always have stories. So yeah, so after you do that and you pass, right? After you prepare and then you go over, and your step 5 would be you go over and you pass the exam, they start to collect your immigration documents, right? So they claim that it takes 1 to 2 months, baby. I don't know if it was the panoramic or what, but my whole immigration process take a long time. And it's not because I wasn't efficient or I wasn't proactive. Like, I literally, as they sent me the emails, my shit was ready within the week to be sent off to them or wherever they wanted me to send documents, right? So they'll begin collecting the necessary immigration documents, and I won't get into details because there's a lot of stuff, a lot of paperwork, a lot of stuff I don't remember. But just know that after you pass the exam, that is what starts to happen. So like, if you never have a visa or a passport, you start getting things in line, you know? No visa, because you have to have a visa to go do your NCLEX, sorry. Well, you don't have to have a visa to do your NCLEX. You can choose a country that does not require a visa from Jamaica to go. And so some people choose Mexico, and there's some other couple places. If I remember, or I'm going to do my research and put it in the video also. So after you collect your immigration papers and so, you basically sit down and wait for your visa interview. And that was the part that took the longest. And you see the panoramic there? When me tell you say COVID pandemic come and shake up things, you know. Shake up things, you know, brother. You can imagine me start 2019 and I left the country till 2020. Just imagine. 2022. I left it 2022, sorry. 2020. 2021, 2022, 3 years it take me, or something. We should have taken a year and a half tops. You understand? So that was so irritating. And all the drama on the Facebook groups. I tell you why your name not call later. Somebody get one interview date and you wonder why them say them just sign up and them I get interview. Oh, well, if I rigmarole. Guys, as I said, if you want a detailed video on the chaos that occurred, just let me know. So after you do that now, some of them, in order for you to get your visa quicker, they'll file a premium, some petition or something like that. What do you call it? Premium processing. So basically it fast tracks you into getting your visa faster. Just repeat yourself. But yeah, it helps you to get your visa faster because they really want you over there. They are desperate for nurses to start because they have hospitals that have shortages, right? So after you get the EB3 visa, hold on there. I think me kind of mix it up. Hold on there. Okay, so the petition is only if you're see on a visa bulletin country. So not everybody that applied to, but Jamaica is, so it did apply to us. And if they do a petition, it can take 10 to 12 business days. But I'm telling you that it took way longer than that. I think it took 3 months for me to know what was happening, right? So after we do that now, the NVC process with the visa screen comes into play, and that can take anywhere between 8 to 9 months. I think that is the correct time period. That's how long it took for me, I think. And as I said before, it was a long and rigorous process. But my company paid the fees for that, for your NVC certificate and some. They pay the fees for all of that, right? And then right after that is finished and processed, after your NVC process is complete, they'll schedule you for an embassy interview, and that in itself is a long process again. Because you have to do, when they schedule you for the embassy interview, you have to do a medical, and currently in Jamaica, the only place that does it is Andrews Memorial Hospital. That is where a town, and if you live Negril, you have to take a country bus all the way to Kingston, and the earlier you reach is the better, because 10,000 people go come on your day. Regardless, I feel like there is no day that is a soft day. Like every day has a lot of people there. So if you want to not be in Kingston late at night, I would suggest that you come out here very early and reach to town, and they're gonna give you a time. Disregard the time. Disregard the time. If them tell us 11:30, they must see you reach from 7 o'clock. What me say? Reach from 7 o'clock, because they don't business about the time. Probably when you come down and say, oh, what time you have? But if it's a first come first serve basis, one of my good friend named Mitchie, big up herself, and she made me know that because she went before me and she told me don't follow the time. That's what I did, and that's how I left at that place at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah, I reach from I reached there from closer to 8 o'clock in the morning. Your time until something left? Okay. So be smart about it, guys. Someone was trying to call me. Oh, one thing. Oh, me call America full of spam calls. So. It's like you sign up for something and then everybody get your number and just decide to spam you. Mighty God of Daniel. But anyways, shortly after your embassy interview is scheduled, and you do your embassy interview after you're approved for your medical, and you have to have your medical to bring. You have to do your medical before your embassy interview. I think some people ended up, because of the whole pandemic, there was a backlog of cases of dates, like you couldn't get an early date. So sometimes it ended up that your embassy interview was going to be before your medical, and in that case you would not get the visa until you did your medical. So they would approve you, but then they'll tell you that it's conditional pending on your medical that was forwarded to them. So when you do the medical, you don't get the actual paperwork, you don't get the paperwork that's done from the medical. They just forward everything to the embassy, and then the processing is done over there, and then you get the email with a boom bang, you approve, here's a visa, it's time for you to go foreign. So after that happens now, your company will go ahead and schedule your flight details. I think they pay for your flight. If you have a husband or children, you have to pay for them. But as a girl that's single, as she want come over here, she's single as a Pringle. She don't carry no Sandra Beach, I joke me and make. But yeah, I came over here by myself, so I didn't have to pay for my flight. and they put you up in a hotel, which is what my company did. They put you up in a hotel for a week until you transition to your apartment. And that's a whole nother thing that I want to discuss. I'm not gonna get excited, guys, because this was one of the main reasons why I wanted to start my YouTube channel, or I decided to start my YouTube channel, just to give more education on the whole process, because how people make it seem and how it is two different things. Believe me. So yeah, you come over here. That's how my company did. I don't know, you can drop comments below and tell me how your company did your process, your deployment process, but that's what my company did. And I've dreamed of it telling about the whole deployment process, but I'm not gonna tell you no. I'm not giving away all my secrets. But yeah, that is how I came to the US. And yeah, you come, they put them in a hotel or wherever, and then everybody program different, because I know that Avant actually, you have to stay in Florida for a little bit and do some classes and so before you actually transition to the state that you're going to go to. But they immediately brought me to my state, and it's also different in my program because some of the Africans, they actually came into the country like months before and were staying with family all over, and then the onboarding process started where they deployed to the state and whatnot. So I came here, spent 5 days in a hotel, then have to ended up I'm not gonna give y'all the details right now, but just know you come, they put you up a little bit. You're going to have to I think I'm going to do a separate video for the actual deployment process, because it's a long little thing. I feel so nice. Good gosh, I'm gonna tell me. Couldn't tell me say some cute. Anyways, guys, yeah, that is basically the process. If you have any questions, drop them in the comment section below. If there is anything you want me to talk about that I did not speak about, if there's anything that's not clear, let me know and I'll make it clear for you. But thank you for stopping by to my channel. If you haven't subscribed, now is the time to do it. I'm gonna drop teas and all sort of something, and I'm gonna be more consistent for you guys, you know, because we are sisters, we stick together. But yeah, we need to, I am not going to be gatekeeping anything, as long as it's within bounds, because someone can get really personal. I wanna know on myself certain things, and I don't ask me for discuss because I want. Well, yeah, guys, thank you for having me, and I hope you have a great day. See you next time. Bye.